Good morning, everyone. It's Yvonne back to do your bonus read. This is for the weekend of the 4th, 5th and 6th of October. I'll get straight into the reading now. If you need to know any dates or any blurbs, I'll have them up the front of the What's Cracking reading, so go back and check that one out. I'm using the Modern Spellcasters Tarot here, although I'm getting a bit bored with the packs at the moment, so next time you see me I may have all new decks on board. I'm really loving, that's a new word for me. I am really loving the Wisdom of the Oracle deck though. It's pretty spot on, hasn't really missed at all. Okay, Seven of Swords. How coincidentally, I said this by mistake in the What's Cracking reading and went, that's very interesting, and now here it is. Spirit moves in mysterious ways. Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords sort of shows a person trying to get away with something. They have all the swords on their back and they're trying to get away. You can see they're being sneaky because they're looking back to see if anybody's seen them go. And they're obviously, creeping away from some sort of camp or... the swords represent your thoughts and ideas. So someone is trying to get away with either not speaking up because they're taking the swords with them, or trying to get away with deceiving you in some way by taking these swords away. So it can mean sometimes people aren't speaking up, but it also can mean that people are trying to get away with something, or a person is trying to get away with something. Behind that we do have the Ten of Pentacles, so that's quite interesting because they have quite different energies. The Ten of Pentacles talks of having abundance, it talks about being financially secure, it talks about having enough to do what you want to do. And in behind that we have the Knight of Swords. Now the Knight of Swords is someone rushing back in again, so that immediately implies that you have become somewhat richer by somebody coming back who may have done the wrong thing to you in the past. But I'll see how that pans out. And behind that we have the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands is about you becoming defensive with that energy. Five of Cups. So, okay. So what that mini story is talking about is the fact that perhaps somebody did something in the past that wasn't on the up and up. Maybe somebody wasn't honest with you about how they felt, honest with you about what they were doing, whatever it is, they weren't completely honest with you. And that may have been for 1,000,001 reasons. It may have been because they were being deceitful, but even so, doesn't matter. They were in effect not telling you the truth. And it seems to me like there's been somebody come rushing in who perhaps was like that in the past. And the very fact that they've come rushing in here is bringing you some sort of abundance and joy because they've come back to you here. But the thing is, there's been so much time in between, and it sort of resonates a little bit with the What's Cracking reading, where there's been so much time in between to you think about the disappointment and the hurt that they caused you, that has continued to help you grow along the way. And now the person that person's coming back to has done so much growth. The whole situation here is bringing a completely different situation. Now that Ten of Pentacles can mean you're overjoyed by seeing that person or that thing return to you, but it can also mean that you are now growing, or you have grown exponentially. Sorry, I have to blow my nose. Oh boy, hay fever. You have grown so much that when this person comes back in, immediately you feel like this is my dream come true, how wonderful, this person's returned, how fantastic, they've given me this job, whatever it is has fallen in your lap, and you're like so happy about that. But then after a period of time you're like, am I really happy with this? Is this really what I wanted? Is this what I expected? And it's sort of, even though it's different cards, it's sort of conjuring up, how funny that flipped over. It's sort of conjuring up for me here this, Seven of Wands, Five of Cups energy, where, you realize now that you've been defending maybe your heart, who you are the whole time, and you've been forced to grow. So now that situation that you had a long time ago, or that person, doesn't look quite the same anymore. Okay, so we have the Justice card coming out here. So there is some sort of justice to this situation. Now, the justice could be in the fact that you have realized your potential or your value. The justice could also be in the fact that you understand now that your own mind, your own heart, your own situation perhaps causes you to run down a different path to the one you should have been on the whole time. So it could be in the fact that your intuition, perhaps you've been dumping down on your intuition. Perhaps you really didn't know truly who you are. But justice is going to put things right here. Okay, Page of Pentacles coming out. So the Page of Pentacles is funny because the Page of Pentacles is the it's the Princess of Pentacles in the other deck, and it came out too. This is about being offered something. It's about somebody coming in to offer you something. Now, it could be this offer is about a job or about money, but the thing is with this page, I always feel like it has such a karmic feel to it. It's almost like somebody's giving you a gift, something back that you should have had a long time ago and nobody ever brought it forth. And I feel like this is exactly what it's doing here. 3 of Pentacles coming in here. So look at you, investing in yourself rather than investing in someone else. Understanding that. This is really nice. Understanding your personal boundaries. Okay, walking away from things that no longer serve you with the 8 of Cups. Becoming the Empress. Whether you're male or female, that doesn't matter. This is your ultimate side, that feminine side of you. Queen of Cups, bringing out your intuition, understanding who you truly are at the core, understanding your value. Page of Wands, a message coming in of passion. Oh, and we picked up 2 again. Someone from your past here. 6 of Cups, and then the 6 of Wands, which of course is about victory. So, this is really interesting actually. It isn't the same as the What's Cracking read, but it certainly has a similar feel to it. I feel like somebody walked away from you here. They probably did the wrong thing. They could have ghosted you because of the swords being quiet, taking those away with them and not speaking up. There's something here that makes you feel abundant because someone is rushing in, but you are quite defensive and quite sort of looking back at the past. Look, King of Swords here. You really are speaking up for yourself here. So it could be you really getting some clarity around this situation. But as I said, I think it has a lot deeper meaning than just the return. I think Spirit has done this to make you understand how your ego plays a part, how your illusions play a part, how you maybe make a mountain out of a molehill. Okay, so you've grown this thing, whatever it was, through your sadness, your misery, your unhappiness, your disappointment, you have grown this thing to be much bigger than it actually was. And now it's being presented. It's just not coming in how you thought it would. I feel here that there's a great deal for you to learn about investment in yourself, your own personal boundaries, and walking away from things that no longer serve you. So you may have spent in this situation months or even years wondering about that situation that didn't pan out the way you wanted it to. And now it's presenting back to you in all its glory. It looks so bright and shiny. That little bit of ADHD in you has gone straight after it and then gone, this isn't what I thought it was. This person isn't this, romantic, beautiful, amazing figure that I thought he was. He's just an ordinary person just like me. That just reminds me of, when you're doing public speaking. I remember somebody saying to me many, many years ago, just imagine that everybody in the audience has no clothes on. And at the time I remember thinking, wow, I don't really want to go out with that thought in my head. But what they were really trying to say to me is if you take all the adornments off people, everybody is the same. No matter how much money they have, no matter how beautiful they are on the outside, at the end of the day, we are all the same. And it was quite sort of one of those sort of epiphany moments when I realised that, walking out and talking in front of hundreds of people is not as scary as you think it is if you remember that everyone sitting in front of you is just an ordinary person. Anyway, I digress. So what we're doing here is we're understanding that we can walk away from things that no longer serve us. Now, what I have to say to you, could be somebody returning from your past without any doubt whatsoever. This person is coming in with a lot of passion for you, but this idea of thinking they were something different, or thinking or feeling that they were somebody that they were not, is giving you this sort of sense of who you are, which is bringing in some sort of resolution for you here in this victory card about who you are and how you see yourself in the world. So maybe you're that person who's up there presenting to, a big audience that realizes everybody's just normal. You've put this person on a pedestal. You maybe have worshipped them. It may not just be a person. It could be a situation. It could be a job. But whatever it was, you have made it out to be this bright, shiny thing when it's just an ordinary thing. Could be extraordinary, but that's up to you now to find that out. But at the moment, you're looking at that person thinking, or that situation or that job thinking, why? Why did I think this was going to be so much more than what it is? Got me thinking now. Oh, I've got two cards coming out here now. Okay, let's have a look, because Yang is the card of action. So let's just read that one first, because it's card number 1. Okay, so its essential meaning is the masculine principle of movement and creative activity, the power to make things happen and taking action. So the oracle message says Yang represents the power of action, the energies that propel the world forward and manifesting thought and desire into concrete form, which is what you've done. You've manifested. Let's concentrate on the manifestation. Now is the perfect time to act, for you can easily build momentum and make headway. What you want will come to fruition if you proceed confidently. This card signifies new life and is a sure sign that obstacles have been overcome. There is no reason to hesitate. You are the shaper of your destiny now. Okay. Because the other card that came out is higher power. And I think this is really going to rock this reading. Okay, so the essential meaning here is conscious contact with a higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, committing to a partnership with spirit. This card reminds you that you are more than a person trying to get ahead and make things happen for yourself and others. You have an immortal soul and are gifted with a human life through which a higher power can express itself. At this time, you need to be conscious of your connection to spirit and foster it through prayer and meditation. Ask, what is the highest good for all? How can I serve? Then get out of your own way and trust that there is a plan for your life more wondrous than you can ever know. You are always protected and divinely directed. So that's really interesting, isn't it? So maybe this whole situation here wasn't about, you waiting for someone to come back, you waiting for a job to come in, you waiting for a situation to give you another opportunity. This is about you understanding your greater trust in the higher powers because you've manifested, and that's what that's all about. So understand your greater power. Thanks, everyone.